Namaste to all. Welcome to the YouTube channel of RSV Group of School. Today we are discussing the topic from class 7th, that is respiration in organism. In our previous video we have discussed how the respiration process takes place. Let's take a quick rewind of that topic. Respiration is the breakdown of the food molecule in the presence of oxygen to produce the energy. That is, respiration gives us energy. That's why it is very necessary. Respiration is of two types, aerobic and anaerobic. When the respiration is taking place in the presence of oxygen, it is aerobic respiration. When it is taking in the absence of oxygen, that is the anaerobic respiration. Now let's in detail discuss some points about the aerobic respiration. In the aerobic respiration, the food is broken down into carbon dioxide and water and energy is released. From where does this oxygen come to break down the food, and what happens to this carbon dioxide which is present here as a waste? Carbon dioxide is just a waste in our body. There is no use of carbon dioxide in the body. It is just a waste. So question arises, from where this oxygen came into our body and how this carbon dioxide, how our body get rid of this waste, that is carbon dioxide. The answer is breathing. All of you have heard the term breathing. Breathing means to inhale, to exhale. So if you will define the definition, if you will define the term breathing, breathing means intake of oxygen rich air and release of carbon dioxide rich air. Intake of oxygen rich air and release of carbon dioxide rich air. This process is known as breathing. Breathing is divided into two parts. The intake of oxygen rich air is termed as inhalation. In means inside, halation means to take the air inside. So when we take the oxygen rich air inside our body, that is termed as inhalation, and the process of releasing the carbon dioxide out of the body, that process is known as exhalation. Now one breathe, that means one breathe is equal to one inhalation and one exhalation. When once we take the oxygen rich air inside, inhalation, and we exhale the carbon dioxide rich air, exhalation, one inhalation and one exhalation combine to form one breath. How many times we breathe in a minute? How many times we breathe in a minute is known as breathing rate. As it is shown here, number of breath divided by minute, that is divided by the time, is known as breathing rate, that is number of breath taken in 1 minute. Is the breathing continuous for our whole life? Yes, breathing is very necessary. If we will not breathe, the oxygen will not reach to every cell of the body. Our body will not get the energy for several functions. So breathing is very necessary. You cannot survive without the breathing. Now this breathing process is very continuous. It remains continuous from our birth to our death. The breathing rate is continuous, but it is not constant. Constant means the rate of breathing can increase or decrease according to the various physical activities. In normal conditions, when we are just sitting or reading the book or cooking our food, or when we are just sleeping at home, in those conditions, those normal conditions, the breathing rate of the normal human body is approximately 15 to 18 per minute. And when we are running, when we are doing some heavy exercise, when we are doing some hard work, at that time, hard work means some physical hard work, we are using our energy. In that particular condition, our body requires more energy. Our body requires more energy to perform that particular task. For more energy to be fulfilled, more oxygen is required. In that particular condition, our body start taking breathe very fastly. In that particular condition, the breathing rate increases and increases up to 25 to 30 per minute according to the condition of the body, according to the task you are performing. If you are performing a hard task, if you are performing a hard physical exercise, at that time the cells, the body parts require more amount of energy to perform that particular task. To perform that particular task, more oxygen required, because in the presence of oxygen only the food will broken down and produce energy. So to fulfill the demand of that oxygen, high oxygen demand, we start breathing very fastly. We start inhaling and exhaling very fastly. In that condition, the breathing rate increases and it increases up to this one. Now, next, how do we breathe? What is the process of breathing? What is the pathway of the air inside our body? So all of you know, inhalation is generally done from the nose. So the air enters from our nose. Nose have two openings, those are nostrils. In nose there are two openings present, those are known as nostrils. So the air which is rich in oxygen, during the process of inhalation we inhale the oxygen rich air from our nostrils. So from the nostrils, the air is passed to the nasal cavity. As you can see the small diagram also, from the nostril, the air passes to the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air passes to the windpipe. Windpipe is also termed as trachea. Windpipe is also termed as trachea. This is shown a pipe-like structure. This pipe-like structure is known as trachea or windpipe, from where the air is coming inside our body. From trachea, the air goes into the lungs. Below the lungs, a muscular layer is present. That muscular layer is known as diaphragm. We will also see the function of diaphragm. Let's again see what is the process or what is the pathway of the air during inhalation and during exhalation. So when we inhale, the air from the nostrils enter in our body from the nostrils. From nostrils it passes to the nasal cavity, which is the empty space present in the nose. From the nasal cavity the air passes to the windpipe, is pipe-like structure present just here, and from the windpipe the air goes into the lungs. Both of the lungs, where the oxygen is taken up by the blood, and blood take that oxygen to each and every cell of the body. This is how the inhalation process is done. How the exhalation process is done? Exhalation process is just reverse of the inhalation process. The air from the lungs goes to the trachea. From the trachea it passes to the nasal cavity. From nasal cavity it passes to the nostrils, and hence we exhale. So inhalation and exhalation are just reverse process. If you understand the inhalation process, it is very easy to understand the exhalation process. Let's see what are the activities of the body taking place in the body during the process of inhalation. I will explain the properties, I will explain the activities taking in the body during inhalation. The activities during exhalation will be just opposite of that. So during an inhalation, the ribs are the bones which are covering the lungs. If you will touch your lungs, you will feel the ribs here. There are 12 to 14 pairs of ribs present which are covering your lungs. Main function is to protect the lungs from the injuries. So ribs, during inhalation, when you inhale, the ribs, look the movement of ribs. You can also feel it when you inhale, when you intake the air. At that time, the ribs moves up and outward. The ribs moves up and outwards, and the diaphragm, I have told you earlier, diaphragm is a muscular layer which is present just below the lungs. It is present to increase the chest cavity, to increase the space, to take more and more air during the inhalation. So let's see, during inhalation the diaphragm moves down. This diaphragm will moves down. When it will moves down, the more air will be move quickly inside during the lungs. During the exhalation, all these activities will just reverse. During exhalation, the ribs will moves down. You can just feel it. Just do it and feel it. When you exhale, the ribs moves down and inward, and the diaphragm, to cover that empty space, again moves upward. Okay, I hope all of you have understood this topic. We will see the next topic in the next video.